Welcome to the Sustainable Living Podcast. Tips, tools, and tactics for living a heart-centered life that honors Mother Earth and her inhabitants. The information shared on the Sustainable Living Podcast reflects the opinions of host Marianne West, Janice Friant, and their guests. Please use your own discretion and research before applying any information to your individual situation. Now, here are your hosts, Marianne and Janice.
Hello, everyone. How are you all doing? This is Marianne. And you know what? It's just you and me, baby, today. It's going to be another solo episode. And today I want to talk about one of my favorite subjects, the power of one. I think you have heard me say more than once that I really want to have you on the show. And I'm talking to you who are doing amazing things in your community or in your family, in your school, wherever it is you're active. And I know you, our listeners, you all do something to make this world a better place. And I'm so grateful for that, as I'm grateful that you're listening to us. Yay! So what I wanted to talk about is, if you listened to our last episode, it was Janice and I together in person in Big Bear. We just gave you a little update what's going on. The reason I went to Big Bear was to be teaching in the Big Bear Yoga Festival. This is what I want to talk about in many ways. So not about me teaching so much, but about the Big Bear Yoga Festival and how we can see in that example how much one or two persons' effort make a difference for so many people. So Big Bear Yoga is a small little studio. I've been there, Janice teaches there, and I would say it probably holds maybe 8 people maximum. It's not a huge studio. It's not a chain. It's a love child of 2 women. And one is Lisa Ann and the other one is Annalisa. So we got quite confused with their names last week if you listened to that. That yoga studio is their passion, something they want to give back to the community. And I'm not quite sure when the Big Bear Yoga Festival happened, or started, I should say. I know Janice has been involved in it last year and was just talking about how wonderful it is. So earlier this year, I was asked to teach, and I was saying, yes, of course, I love to go and teach. And we were asked to teach permaculture, and we were asked to teach laughter yoga. So 2 of my favorite subjects. So laughter yoga, ha ha ha. Yeah, that was fun. When I started out to hear about it, that festival was supposed to be in a camp close to Big Bear. As we get closer, there were emails saying, oh, we have to change venue because get this. This festival was 1 day only, and it was free for the attendees. Over 550 people, almost 600 people signed up, and many of them had a +1 as well. The original space they were going to have that festival at was way too small, and they moved it into Big Bear Lake, which is a city of maybe around 12,000. I actually looked it up, and the latest statistics they have was 12,304. I'm sure it's a little bit more, a little bit less, who knows. And the town next to it, if you're not familiar with it, it's 5,235, according to the statistics. So, but you get the idea. Those are not huge cities, right? Pretty amazing to have that many people coming. And guess what? Most of the people came from out of town. So the love child of those 2 people created an influx of several hundred people coming into the town and spending money there. I heard more than one person talking about that they rented a room. So I don't know if it was hotel or Airbnb. I'm sure they went to restaurants to eat and maybe even went to local shops. Those 2 women already brought a bunch of business to their small town. Then they rented the Performing Arts Center and City Hall to house all the classes. Right there, somebody got an income to run whatever performances they want to finance in the Performing Arts Center. There were over 30 vendors, which maybe didn't make a lot of money there, but one of the ladies, for example, was selling organic cotton yoga pants. Well, I don't need any right now, but I certainly took her information, and when the time comes that I need a new pair of yoga pants, I'm going to order it from her, because it's not easy to find organic cotton of good quality. I was able to look at it, I was able to feel it, and I will be a future customer. Now, many people came from, well, I obviously came from San Diego. I heard Hermosa Beach, Orange County, Los Angeles, from all over, and were able to participate in this amazing free event. There were 5 time slots, and each slot had 8 different offerings, from nutrition to all different kind of yoga styles to permaculture. So that was our class, and it was first thing in the morning, and only 2 people showed up to the class. But again, how amazing is the power of 1 or 2 people? So let me tell you the story of the class. One of the ladies is about to start a childcare in a city not too far away from Big Bear, and she has a piece of land with it. She is going to want to turn into a permaculture designed play area for people young and old. She's doing not a preschool, she's doing a childcare. And the reason she's doing childcare is that there's already a preschool in town, so she doesn't want to compete. To me, this is an important thing to point out, that her thoughts went, by planning her business, didn't just go into, this is my business idea and that's what I want to do. But she was also thinking about, who else is in town? Am I going to take away from their business, or how can we enhance what we already have? Which in my opinion is very much in line with permaculture design for business. If you're a little bit familiar with permaculture, you know that the design method can be applied to anything, not just to your garden or land, but also to your business. So the idea of creating a business where everybody comes out better than before. The other lady was a mom and an activist. She had moved to Big Bear, I think she said about 3 years earlier, from Los Angeles, where she was very active in getting better nutrition and getting fresh food into the classroom. So one of the first initiatives she did was to get rid of the flavored milks, because they have so much added sugar in it, and got everybody to vote on that the flavored milks got out of that particular school or even the school district, which got the attention of Jamie Oliver. So he had her on his show and helped her to get a garden in the middle of a food desert in Los Angeles established, where the kids could be safe, where they could be having food, and so forth. Now, this was the initiative of one woman who looked at the nutrition of the kids. Many of you might know or might not know, said, and I don't know for every state, I only know the numbers here for Southern California, or more particular for the area I'm living in, said we have a huge amount of obese children. At the same time, I know in San Diego at least, 1 out of 5 children lives in food insecurity. That doesn't necessarily mean that the child goes hungry every day, but it means that that child or that family does not know where their next meal is coming from. And for many children, the meals in school are their mainstay. That's what they can rely on, the food to have on a regular basis. So, of course, you want that food to be as high in nutritional value as possible. She made that her focus, that the kids could eat healthy. Now, as we were talking, she also shared something very, very cool. And I really wanted to share that with you and see if maybe you can have that initiative in your town as well. So here it goes. Many of you might know or not know that the clothes you donate to Goodwill is not necessarily ending up in the store for people to buy. If you listen to the interview with Emily about the tiny house, she kind of talked a little bit about that, said they found later more local thrift stores to donate to. That said, Goodwill gets so much clothes donated to them. There's no way that can all be sold in their different stores. So what usually happens, they get bundled up on big pallets and they might get shipped overseas. Jeans are usually sold to manufacturers which make insulation out of jeans, which, that's a pretty good use. But if the jeans are still really new and somebody could wear them for a while, so it would be better to have a person wear the heck out of them before they get shredded up into insulation. So what this lady was doing, she would go to, or what she's still doing, I think she does it several times a year, she will go to an auction, and that would be on you to find out in which areas of your country or of your, not country, but your state or your city, those auctions happen. But there are auctions where pallets of clothes are being auctioned off for a rather cheap price. She would go and buy a whole pallet. That's like a cubic yard, basically, of clothes. That's a lot of clothes. And then she would do 25-cent garage sales. So first they thought through and get all the clothes their family needs, avoiding to buy new, adding more to, the unnecessary commerce, however you want to call it. But you all know that so much clothes is cheaply made. It's made on slave labor, more or less. It's shipped, has a huge carbon footprint. And for pieces which are basically brand new and to end up being shredded up, it's just not a good idea. It's such a waste of resources. So not only does she then have clothes for her own family, she's also helping her community, which does not have a lot of money, to be able to dress how they like to dress, 25 cents a piece. So I think that's pretty cool. And I'm actually, I want to throw a call to action out to you guys. Can you do that in your area? And if you do, please let us know. Email me at sustainablelivingpodcast@gmail.com or at Marianne at sustainablelivingpodcast.com, or find me on Instagram. I'm Sustainable Living Podcast, and also under my name, Marianne West, on Instagram, Facebook, and of course on Steemit. That's the one we told you last time about. New to me. It's around for a couple of years, I think. Social media platform which earns you cryptocurrency. But we're going to talk about that more at a different time. So that was one connection, one lesson we all learned from her at that permaculture session. The other one is said she's Native American or partly Native American, and she was talking about the high rate of diabetes in her community. Now, I'm about to post a blog post, which is probably up by the time you hear that, about nopales, which is a cactus. Nopales is very, very good in reducing blood sugar and helping to regulate blood sugar, I should say. So it helps with anybody with diabetes to have nopales. It can be juiced, it can be eaten in a salad. Now, if you want to sell food items to the general public, you need a commercial kitchen. And guess what? The lady who is starting the childcare was talking about how they are going to have a commercial kitchen in their facility because they want to feed the children very good food. Okay, lots of connections came up immediately. If you own a commercial kitchen, you can rent it out to people which want to do any kind of cottage industry food, like the other lady doing her nopales salad, which if she has access to a commercial kitchen, she can then sell it at the farmer's market. So right there, those two made a trade, said the nopales lady will help the other one for 8 hours doing whatever needs to be done, and then she will get the kitchen for 2 hours. Pretty cool, right? But it doesn't stop here. Janice has friends which are started a nonprofit called the Lee Foundation. That foundation is wanting to help people who want to start a small cottage industry to get their product to the market. So that's the focus of the nonprofit. Boom. Another connection made. And they also are looking for commercial kitchen space to help somebody who has, a small business. They might need it for 3 hours a week. So now the childcare lady can have extra income by renting out the kitchen in the evening or on weekends. And people which have no access to a commercial kitchen otherwise can now start the cottage industries they want to start. So to bring it back to where I started, all of this only happened because Annalisa and Lisa Ann decided to have this yoga festival. Yeah, I was really excited about that. And I would love to hear from you what you're doing, or if you know of a person which has, just by doing something, influenced so many different people. And I actually could go on to even other connections being made there. I do want to hear from you, so please let us know. I also want to take this opportunity to thank our Patreon supporters. You guys rock. Thank you so much. And if you don't know what Patreon is, it's a platform where you can support people like us, podcasters. There are artists on there, visual artists, there are musicians, writers, basically creatives, and any person can support them for very small amounts. Like our amount starts with $1 a month. We love more, but $1 a month makes even a huge difference. We have quite a few supporters now, and we are so grateful for, quite a few. We have, next time I have my reading classes on and a spreadsheet. And I want to give a shout out to every single one of them. So some are supporting us with $1 a month, some with $5, some with $3, some with $10. We are just really grateful. Again, my email is sustainablelivingpodcast@gmail.com. And I would love to hear if you have started an initiative which ended up touching a lot of people. It could be having a garden in your front yard and being able to talk to all kinds of neighbors about saving bees, for example. Or if you know of somebody, let us know. Thank you so much for listening. You guys rock. I wish you a wonderful, wonderful week. Bye for now.